Yeah!
It's Josh Williams here, and welcome to the One Man Podcast, episode number 30 for Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. The holidays are here, and depending on which holiday you celebrate, it would have a different greeting. Welcome, listeners. Welcome back, old listeners. Welcome, new listeners. What are we going to talk? We got lots to talk about today. Lots and lots to talk about. I'm going to tell you guys a little update on my health. I'm making a little bit of progress since last week's episode where I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes or basically diabetes, depending on which one of the two charts you look at. Tell you guys what's going on with me comedy-wise. I got a lot of holiday season stuff to talk about. Talk about some virtual reality since I purchased the PlayStation VR and my roommate Jason purchased the HTC Vive. I'll read your emails. Got lots of stuff to talk about. So what do? I go back to last week, guys. Another week at the source. Again, it's getting a little easier now that they don't have me there 5 days a week. And it's a little bit busier, with the holidays. So I spend half my shift working and half my shift out in the mall Christmas shopping. Like last week was, I think I told you guys all about Tuesday because it basically all happened prior to the podcast. Wednesday I was at work and I don't think there was anything eventful in the evening. Not that exactly a full recount of every one of my days is necessary, but just sometimes I do things interesting, sometimes I don't. But Thursday was a great day because I got up early in the morning and my PlayStation VR bundle that arrived from Amazon. So I was very excited for that. I got up, set the thing up, pretty much first thing. I think I was still in my underpants setting this thing up for like 2 hours. It wasn't that long. It seemed like a long time. And Jason woke up, late into the morning as he does. For anyone who listens, who happens to know my roommate, Jason Lawrence, owner of Absolute Comedy, Jason fancies himself the hardest working man in the world, rarely out of bed before 10 a.m., very rarely. So I had the opportunity to put the PlayStation VR together before Jason was even awake, which is not a horrible thing. Just I know that he was excited to try it when he heard one was coming. So by the time he got up, I was like, "Hey, the PlayStation VR is set up." So Jay and I started dicking around with some games. It really only, right out of the box, I wasn't going to put Jason into Skyrim, which is the game that it came with. For anyone who's a gamer out there, they would know that Skyrim is a very vast and long and potentially complicated game to learn how to play. And you can't simply just try Skyrim. It's a very long commitment to play. It takes a long time. The whole game, I think, is over 100 plus hours if you do all the content. So, excuse me, basically long game. So I think I also had a demo of something called Rush of Blood. It's Until Dawn. Until Dawn has been the subject of conversation a little bit in the podcast recently. It is a choose your own adventure type game. This game is nothing like that. The virtual reality knockoff Until Dawn's Rush of Blood is basically you're on a roller coaster cart and you're going through different types of fun houses and things like that, killing scary clowns and zombies and monsters and things like that. Then ultimately, I should say throughout the game, appearances of the main antagonist from Until Dawn show up to scare the shit out of you and whatnot. And it's very, very immersive and very, very real. So again, after all these weeks of telling you guys about PlayStation VR, I think I used the analogy that, if you eat like one or two Doritos chips, it's like, oh, these taste great. Or at least maybe fat people like me were like, oh, these taste great. But after you've had a handful or a bowl of them, you're like, this, all I could taste is this fake cheese. It's disgusting. And that was my concern with the VR, right? I had mentioned that I was worried that, in little 5-minute demos, this thing is outstanding, but, maybe playing it for hours at a time would get old. Now, I do have to say that after about an hour or so in it, your eyes hurt, or at least my eyes would get sort of fatigued. But I think it's because I was bouncing around from a bunch of different games and learning the setup and things like that. So maybe I was just, mentally overwhelmed. But I got to say that I am enjoying it so far. So anyways, Jay and I played the Rush of Blood game. He played it. I couldn't. I got to be honest with you guys. I watched him play a level, and then I would try to play the same level. But I'm telling you, the difference between watching the television screen, where it's basically broadcasting what the person in the VR is seeing, and actually having it on your head, where all you can see and wherever you look, you're still in that surroundings. Very, very different. So I played the first level. It was super spooky. When shit popped out at me, I screamed. When shit popped out at Jason, I screamed because I'm high strung, right? I don't do well. So when shit pops out, I fucking scream. And I did that a lot. So that was the game we played during the day. And Jay was very, very excited. So we had fun playing that. And he was like, "That was great. What's what does something like this go for? Can I get one for the computer or whatever?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, they have versions called the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. And we played one. Crystal and I played one a long time ago at Colony VR. And Jay was like, "Oh, I gotta pick one of these." So immediately, it was so funny too because I didn't even notice he was looking into it. We were just sort of playing games, and then he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I jumped in to play something briefly, and then I took it off maybe 5-10 minutes later. He's in his room on Amazon and Googling the different VR prices of the HTC Vive and all this. So immediately he was fascinated and wanted to get one as well. And so I think later that day he went to he went to Colony VR and played with another comedian, Colin O'Brien. Had a good time, and the very next day, Jason had purchased himself full-on HTC Vive. It's okay; it's only $1,000 headset, and Jay already has the gaming computer for it. Jason's computer's built for video games, so we now have two virtual reality operating systems in the house. We have the PlayStation VR, which operates off of my PS4 Pro, and then we have the HTC Vive in Jason's room that operates off of his God knows what ridiculous computer. So it's been a lot of fun throughout the course of the week. Like I'll get to that shortly, but throughout the course of the week, everybody's been playing it. The friends who've come over have been trying it. All the roommates have been playing with it. In fact, the most time we've all spent together as of late, just as a whole house, all doing something, has been with these VR helmets. So it's been a nice little thing that's brought us together as a little household of man-children, playing with our little Peter Pan devices. But Friday was the rest story. I apologize. Thursday, after the first half of the day doing the VR stuff, Dave and I went out to get some horrible rabbit food. The rabbit food that I got was ugh. So I've been trying it ever since I got the diagnosis last week. I'm trying to eat better. My buddy Dave went out with me, and we got, what did we get? I got a bunch of romaine lettuce and all this basically like no calorie stuff, like, sorry, the roommates are being fucking loud in the hall. I don't know if you guys are picking them up. I can hear them in the headset. Maybe you can't hear them. Hopefully Auphonic, the lovely Auphonic, will edit them right the fuck out of the background. But it sounded almost to the point where I thought they were standing outside my door talking to me. But anyways, Dave and I got a bunch of heads of romaine lettuce, cucumbers, carrots, Brussels sprouts, snap peas, shit like that. Oh, I'm at the point where I'm almost going to get up and tell them to shut the fuck up. Hey, feel free to yell louder, guys. We can't completely hear you on the podcast. Fucking idiots. Anyways, what was I saying? Anyways, yeah, a bunch of gross fucking food. You guys get it. I'm basically listing off vegetables, the shit that everyone's like, oh, yeah, I eat it occasionally. Or maybe you guys eat it all the time. Maybe that's why I have diabetes and you don't. Who knows? All I know is that I went out with Dave. Then we came back, and Dave had great results doing a diet from a book called Eat to Live. Really, really good results over the last year. So I was like, fuck it, let's try it, right? I mean, at least if anything, I'll give it a chance, So anyways, we came back and we had purchased all this romaine stuff. So basically, Dave was helping me prep these giant bags of salad. And all it was like a head and a half of romaine lettuce, a handful of snap peas, handful of baby carrots, like half a chopped up cucumber. And then that was it. That's what I've been eating at work for the last 5 days. Is I get up in the morning and I take a fucking a bag of lettuce with that other stuff I listed in it. And we also prepped this incredibly bland chili stuff. So it was basically like a chopped up onion in a pot. Sweat it was the term he used. Maybe you guys know it. I didn't. He's like, I just sweat an onion. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, I fucking interrogate it. Where the fuck have you been, onion? Why are you sweating me? That's the only thing that I thought of when he said it. So yeah, he's like, you sweat the onion and then basically pour in a bunch of, this was the recipe. Chopped up onion, diced tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes with low salt, right? Because we went to Walmart to get that shit. Can of kidney beans, can of black beans, can of corn. That's it. So just stir all that shit together. And that might sound like it's something, but without a little bit of spice or salt. And remember, we were using all no salt versions of all of these things. So I think we put some no salt vegetable broth in there to sort of like soften it up and to absorb, give it a bit of a brothiness. And then I think a little packet, I use a packet like taco spice to give it some flavor. Mix that up, and I'm still eating it. So like every day now I'm eating a bag of salad. I'm eating some berries. I got some strawberries and some blackberries. What else? I stopped drinking coffee because my coffee was a big source of my calories, right? Like a lot of people are like, hey, just don't drink pop. And you're going to lose weight. I'm like, well, guess what? I don't fucking drink pop right now, or like when I say right now, I'm this stage in my life, when I was younger, I would drink pop. In fact, the only time I ever drink pop is when I go to the theater and get like pop and popcorn. Basically, it's like a combo. Yeah, I'll take it. And then I get the caffeine because it's always a late show and I always fall asleep. So, yeah. That's what I've been eating every day, guys. Okay, so my little segment, like the fattest thing that I've done all week. I'll get to that a little later on again because I sort of spoil other things that have happened throughout the week. But like the fattest thing I've done all week is like eat a meal. Do you know what I mean? Like eat a regular human meal that's just not on this crazy strict diet. But I'll go through that as the week goes on. I'll let you guys know sort of what happened. Sorry for yawning. It's Tuesday night. I tried to get this done earlier in the day, but I couldn't. Did a lot of stuff today. I went out and got more fucking rabbit food today, to go through that. I haven't prepped it yet, but because I ran out of all my bags of veggie bullshit. So anyways, Dave and I made that, bland ass chili. So I got bags of salad, bland ass chili, and I'm cheating by using like Dempster's white flour tortilla wraps just to wrap this mush in, right? So I throw like a fucking handful of salad, like lettuce down on this shit, and then I fill it up with this bean and tomato and rice stuff. We did put a little bit of brown rice in it to sort of give it, some semblance of something that looked like happiness. But yeah. So made that Friday. I worked at the Source in the morning, and then I had a wine tasting on Friday night that I was going to be doing for my old pals at Splash, which is the company I worked for with PlayStation VR and some of those movie video game theater hosting things. But I just wasn't going to make it on time, and so my good friend Dave, who put me on this horrible diet, also bailed me out and decided to do that. So thank you, Dave, for quite a week of help. I really do appreciate it. My friend Dave Budd, who's a listener to the podcast and writes in occasionally. Yeah, Dave was a great help this week, and I don't even think I'm done thanking him for stuff. I think there's more shit I gotta, mention. It was nice having a distraction, having all this stuff to do. As always, all of you guys who are listening to the podcast regularly, I'm still going through the heartache of being broken up from the lady. It's funny too, because Jason, I think earlier this week, like called me into his room. He's like, "Hey, did you break up with your girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." Or am I broken up? Like, are we not together? Basically, I didn't break up with her, but, and he's like, "Why the fuck am I hearing this from like third party person? Someone who listens to your podcast. It's a friend of his girlfriend's, listens to the podcast. So hello, Andrea, if you still listen." But he's like, "Yeah, a friend of Noreen's, Andrea, listened to the podcast. She said that you're broken up with your girlfriend." And I was like, "No, I don't think so." And then he goes, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I go, "Well, I told my podcast listeners. You guys really do get the inside scoop, believe it or not. You listen to me, bitch, but you are the first to know anything that's going on with me." So that was a thing. And then I just told him, you know what? Like it was fresh. This is my reasoning. I wanted to bring this up as one of my talking points, is that, like I said, I've had a lot of people reach out and just say, "Hey man, I'm here for you if you need me. Here's my phone number." And I haven't called any of you people. I haven't reached out to any of you people, but I just wanted everyone to know, just in case, it could be a little insecurity on my part, but I want you all to know, I haven't picked any shoulder to cry on, for what it's worth. I haven't, really talked about it with anybody, at all. It's still new. I'm lucky that I've been distracted, but it's so hard right now this time of year. And I really don't know. I'm still, honest to God, I'm struggling with myself because I just don't know what to do with all my feelings and stuff right now. And so for anyone who's listening to this as like a first time listener, I'm sorry. Thanks for weathering the storm of this. I don't expect you to go back and listen to all the woes of my past, but basically what's happening right now, guys, is it's Christmas time. I still love Crystal very, very much. I miss her. I can't tell you how much I miss her. I have nightmares still, just stuff of her not being around. Like, I got to tell you, when somebody's that big of a part of your life, for them to just be gone, I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm not, I'm just not equipped to deal with all of this alone time now, especially during the holidays. So, I'll be honest, I'm having a real hard time feeling sorry for myself because, like I said, I've got all these great people who really, you guys have really done a great job of making me not feel alone in the process. Just unfortunately, and I hope this doesn't sound selfish, but I'm sure you can understand where my feelings and my heart are right now. It's just that right now, the only person who I kind of want to talk to and want to see is the lady who is not there anymore, right? So, oh God, this got sad fast. Hey, I'm trying to turn this into a goddamn holiday episode, and I'm like, sadness. So, I just wanted to say, yeah, like that's the thing that's been going on. So, I'm trying to put my head down and just work on the positive stuff, like the health, like the diet, getting to the doctor and stuff, and just try to, once I can get through the holidays, I can start focusing on some more bigger picture shit for myself too. But I think just, exercise and diet are important, and I'm working on it, and it's nice actually, like I said, doing a little bit of, bullshit spending that I maybe shouldn't be doing, stuff like PlayStation VR and whatnot. But I will be honest, it is a nice distraction from the pain that lives in my heart right now. Yeah. So, anyways, just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for Dave for Dave's been a real good friend as of late. He's just, like I said, helping keep me motivated, helping keep me on track. My boss and friend, Josh Abel, who's been featured on the podcast before as well, also took a great interest in my health. He wanted me, one of the days this week, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday. No, it wasn't then Thursday. I think Friday, he insisted on me getting like the MyFitnessPal app, which is already on my phone. And he was suggesting a different diet from Dave. Dave and Josh used to work together at Rogers. And both of them have been on diets or lifestyles or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And both of them have gotten good results. Both of them have a very conflicting opinion of the other guy's method. So Josh, I go to work. Josh sees me eating these big bags of lettuce. He knows what Dave did. He saw these bags before, and he's like, dude, it's just not sustainable, man. He's like, yeah, you can lose a lot of weight, but the second you start eating regular food again, you're just going to put it all back on because your body's just not used to it, and yada, yada, yada. Not saying he's wrong, but just to shorten it. And then it's just so funny. The two of them arguing, and I'm stuck in the middle, right? Because I just want to be healthy. So I'm kind of just like, right now what I'm going with is just, I'm just going to eat shit that I know is not bad for me. If something's got a ton of sugar, if something's got a ton of, calories or carbs or anything like that, then I'm not an idiot. I know it's not good. So like I said, I've cut out my coffee. Coffee's a toxin. I've also, did a weight loss a few years back. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months, a few years back, but I had nothing but spare time. I was eating super clean. Like my diet had I think it was no meat, no dairy, no whites, no sugar, no caffeine, no alcohol. And the time I had was ridiculously vast in comparison to what I have now. I think it was back in 2013, and I had spare time all day, every day. So I would get up in the morning and have a banana, walk down and do hot yoga. Then I would come home, prep my food for the day. Then I would take a bus down to the gym, which was at the Rito Center at the time, and do a workout with a personal trainer. Then I'd come home and I'd walk to the grocery store to get more food because everything I was buying was 1 or 2 day quantities. So every day or so I would be walking, and this was a quite a reasonable walk. I would say it was probably a 40-minute walk each way to this grocery store and back. But I was doing it, so I was basically active, workout, gym, eating clean, and just killing it. And yeah, I lost 50 pounds in 3 months. I don't have the time to do 3 different workouts in a day, plus all the meal prep, plus. So, I have to find something that's a little more sustainable for me, and I'm working on it. Yada, 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 20 minutes in, and I'm still just talking about the beginning of the week shit. So, yeah, anyways, the whole, it's nice to be surrounded by people who want to help, who want to see, me doing well. Like I said, I'm not ungrateful for any of the people in my life right now. I'm just a little lonely, looking for someone to snuggle with. You know what I mean? Anyways, that sounds ridiculous. I don't know, maybe some of you people in the relationships, you get a little frustrated with your significant other. You're just like, ugh, I wish they would go away. I'm telling you right now, like it's been close to a month now, and I'm missing that vitamin love. It's I'm getting it from friends and family. It's just not different. It's just not the same. It's different. It's not the same. That's what I was going for. Anywho, Saturday, the Source. Oh yeah, back to the Source. Great distraction. That place is so fucking annoying. It really distracts me from everything else at the time. And then Saturday night, I did a show for Guildcrest Homes. It's my second time performing for them. They had me a few years back, enjoyed me, asked me to go again. I got to the show. I was out in Chesterville, and they served me a meal when I sat down. I guess the owner, who is an incredibly hospitable person, I guess told one of the servers, we came in after they had already eaten, and they just put a wonderful plate of like roast beef and chicken or turkey, whatever it was, and mashed potatoes and gravy, beautiful steamed vegetables, and then stuffing. And I'd been so hungry that day. I actually think I skipped dinner just because I was trying to get to the show on time. So I had a bag of salad, and then got to the show, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I've been good all week. I am going to cheat and have this meal. Now, I didn't eat all of it. I ate about half of what they gave me, but 3/4. I didn't clean the plate, which just made me feel bad. But either way, I was like, I'm pulling back a little bit too. That was a great meal. Was until today the fattest thing I did all week. Was until today. I think this might still be the fattest. I'll leave it open to you guys. But anyways, Sunday I was working at the Source again, and then I did something I don't want to say I'm not proud of, because I did something that I'm afraid to be judged on. But when I was out doing some Christmas shopping or holiday shopping, I saw something that Crystal would have really enjoyed. It was basically just a David's Tea Advent calendar, and I was thinking of picking up one for my brother's wife too, because she was quite fond of it. But both Crystal and my brother's wife are quite fond of teas. So I thought while I was picking one up that I would get one for Crystal as well, and so after work I went to, just as a nice little surprise, just drop it off. It's funny too, because on my way there I was thinking to myself like, oh, and this is the first time I would have seen her in Lord knows how long. Anyways, my whole drive there, I'm thinking, you know what? She's at David's Tea all the time. She probably would have saw this and bought it for herself. But I'm like, there's a chance. It's a nice thing. So needless to say, I got there and said hello and gave her the gift. Just said, hey, I was thinking of you. I wanted you to have this, a little token from me. We're not at odds or anything. Like, we're not fighting or anything. It's just that it's, the relationship's over and she wants the space to heal. So, I wasn't, whatever. Why am I defending? It doesn't fucking matter. I just wanted to do something nice for, the woman I love, regardless of whether or not we're together. It's the holiday season. And like I said, I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm thinking of her all the time. And, so I just figured, maybe it's a nice gesture, just a little, hey, I know we're not together, but I'm thinking of you over the holidays. Cause despite the fact that, we're not together, I know she cares about me and misses me too. So, it doesn't hurt to have a little something around, just to know the other person's thinking of you and they care about you. There's no way that this is entertaining for anybody. This is just the opening up a vein a little bit on the podcast. I got to start moving it along to something else. But anyways, I saw her on Sunday night and that fucked me up. And I've basically been like off work since, which has been really bad. Because I have nothing to do but basically think about her and think about, what's going on and try to do holidays and stuff. I didn't get my tree up yet, right? Which was the subject of conversation, in the last week or so. It was funny because after I dropped that thing off to Crystal, oh yeah, to bookend that, I dropped it off to her and she was like, oh, I already got one. I was like, no, I get it. I figured you might. So, all that to say is that it was, I basically saw her, which kind of like, picked at the scab and sort of reopened the wound. And then it turned out it was all for nothing. She was very gracious and everything, but she's like, I'm sorry, I've already got one. And, I saw it and I thought, I was like, yep, I get it. I get it. So, We said goodbye. Turns out for any of the friends listening, I guess I can get to that later when we talk about holiday traditions. But yeah, so I left that, and because I worked Sundays, you guys know my tradition, right? I like to be a good son, take my mom out shopping. Walmart's open a little late, so my plan was to take up my mom. She was aware. I'd take her to get some groceries, and then her and I would come back here, and we would put up my Christmas tree. And what ended up happening was we went to Walmart, and my mom, who I'd kind of checked with before, I get this little habit with my mom. The thing is, I will pick her up to take her grocery shopping, and generally speaking, we try to get an idea of where we're going in advance, just so I can sort of plan my day around it, right? Like I'll give her a few hours for shopping, but I do have other shit to do. And what happens occasionally with my mom is she will add places that we need to go once I've picked her up once we're on the road. So we need to go to, like, let's say 3 places, and she'll add three or four more, and it's a lot of the time on behalf of my dad too. So it's like, oh, your dad wants me to go here and pick this up. And she never tells me in advance so that I can sort of say, well, let's try to organize it this way or that way. It's only once we're in the car, and then I kind of feel like handcuffed into doing it. So, I feel like I either do it and I'm unhappy, right? Which plants seeds of resentment, or I don't do it. And then I just feel like I'm a shit son or whatever. Anyways, you guys get this? Anybody here? Is this relatable to anyone, or y'all have happy lives? If you have happy lives, I don't know why you listen to this bullshit every week, but anyways. So we go to Walmart, and I think she's like, oh, I only have a few things to do. I'm like, that's great. Because I think at this point it was like maybe 7:00, right? And I'm like, let's get an hour. I'll get you dropped off. I'll go to my house 8:30. Maybe it takes us an hour or so to put up the tree. Get you home by 10. You're good for work tomorrow. I'm good for work the next day, or at least in bed at a decent time. But long story short, I think what ended up happening was my mom took like an hour and a half at Walmart I think I got there and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go poke around for Christmas gift ideas. You go ahead and get your groceries, because I think she said that she only had a few things on her list. I'm like, great. So an hour and a half later, I'm like done looking around. I've looked at every department in the mall waiting for my cell phone to ring and be told I'm ready. I get back to my mom, and she's still like, oh, I haven't got anything on my list yet. I was just looking around at all the things that were on sale. So like we spent like another 10 or 15 minutes filling her cart. Then she decides to go self-checkout with like, I can't, like the most full grocery cart I've ever seen in my life. And if you've ever seen a 65-year-old woman try to do self-checkout, it was like, and I kept saying, Mom, can you let me in there? I'll try. She's like, no, I got it. And it's like, self-checkout, right? You can't get more than one person near that thing. She's got the cart pulled up to her on one side and the bags on the other side. And I couldn't get anywhere near it. So I just sort of walked over to the wall, grabbed my phone, and then started buying shit off of Amazon, which is, again, just a stupid outlet right now. But, okay, come on. Get the positivity up, Josh. Jesus Christ. And I felt my frustration rising. I think we got out of there at like 9:00, and I was just like, Mom, like I care about you. I love you. But I don't know how many times I've said, like, just if you have a lot to get, tell me. I asked you, how much stuff we had. I go, with everything that we have in the cart now, it's like 9:15. By the time I get you home and all this shit unpacked and everything like that, like, this isn't a bag or two of groceries. This isn't me getting, milk, bread, and eggs for you for the week. This is, you needed everything under the sun. You went and bought a cart full. Then you picked the slowest possible way to check out. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. It probably took, like, no bullshit, 25 minutes at the self-checkout, So, like I just said, I'm like, I care about you, and I'm trying to be a good son, but it really bothers me when you don't sort of give a shit about how much time you're taking. I go, if you wanted to get more stuff, at least call me and say, hey, look, I'm looking around a lot of sales. It's going to be a little bit longer. Like, is that cool? I'm going to say yes, but it's nice to feel like respected, or if I really can, I'd be like, look, we're going to put up the tree and stuff tonight. There's no time for that now. Anyway, so we got into a little bit of an argument because my mom just thinks that I was saying, like, oh, I'm too busy to help you. I think she was feeling a little attacked, but the long and the short of it was we got into it. And I mean, being as honest with myself as I can, I think I didn't yell or anything like that. I really did say what I told you guys in the same tone, but I think that it wasn't received in a positive way. It wasn't received in like okay, well, I'm sorry, and I didn't realize. It was important for me to get the tree up. That's the thing. I was really looking forward to that. So I think, the tree was basically a symbol of like, I'm going to bring some cheer into this. But anyways, I basically got into an argument with her because she wasn't hearing what I was saying and whatever. So the whole night ended up being like, I saw Crystal and I was upset. Now I'm fighting with my mom. The tree's not going up and I just feeling like down and depressed. And I think I woke up Monday morning saying to myself, like, you know what? I'm just not going to put the tree up. I think that was the decision that I came to. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to put this Christmas tree up. I go, it's just going to remind me that I'm not trying to be woe is me. I'm really not. I'm just telling you how I was feeling, guys. So you know kind of what's going on with me is that I was just like, you know what? I don't have anyone to celebrate Christmas with. I can't remember it's been years since I didn't spend the night with Crystal and wake up in the morning and do Christmas with her and the kids and the family and everything like that. Like I'm really, really not looking forward to Christmas. And part of me is like, I don't know if this tree is going to end up being like the happy, holly beacon that it's supposed to be. Nobody in the house here. I mean, shy of Simon in the basement, who's almost never around. Kamar and Jason don't give a fuck about Christmas. In fact, they walk around the house bitching about Christmas, that neither of them wants a tree and fuck Christmas. And why do all these people care about Christmas? So it's like, I'd be doing it for myself. And I think, to put up the tree and everything like that, and be the only one who gives a shit about it. And then going, it's not like I'm going to be sitting around it on Christmas morning, opening things up with anybody. I think it's just the idea of it like just brought me down. You know what I mean? Maybe bad taste from the night before, whatever it is. But I think I told myself, here's where I'm at right now. I've already talked to my mom. Everything's, we're good and whatnot. I'm supposed to pick her up tonight. I think it's probably like 8:00 by now, maybe later. And the plan is to finish the podcast, go pick her up at work, and then put the tree up. Like that's my plan. But my plan is, if I don't put the tree up tonight, it's not going up. I don't think I have time off for like another 6-7 days to go out and haul everything out and put it up and everything like that. So, and by then I think after that, I'm like, you know what, I'm not putting it up for 10 days. It's a lot of work. And again, a potential poke in the heart every time I see it. So, it's tonight or nothing. That's the way I'm looking at it. So, yesterday when I got up, I even wrote the notes down here that I'm like, you know what? I've decided no Christmas tree, but I'm not fully committed to that. I'm going to give it a try tonight. If it was meant to be, then I'm going to dig deep and pull it out and make this house a little merrier. Or it's just not going up, So, yeah, I mean, after making that decision, I think I tried on Jason's HTC Vive, his VR headset, played some games. I get to play a little bit of PlayStation VR myself. Just the first day off I've had in a long time with no real obligations. That was fun. It was really, I gotta be honest, it was a big fuck around day, but we played a lot of fun games. Jason has a sort of like a space robot shooter laser game on his VR that was a lot of fun. The HTC Vive is definitely more advanced than the PlayStation VR. It's also infinitely more expensive. But fun. Like Kamar was playing it yesterday. He was rolling around on the floor with it, like leg rolling. Whereas the PlayStation VR uses the camera to track you, so you can't really get, you can't roll around with controllers in your hands on the floor and it's still going to track your movements. Whereas the HTC Vive, Jason has more space where he's got it set up and it's got 2 different cameras that track you from both sides. With a little bit more advanced technology on the helmet and the sticks themselves. So, but yeah, Kamar was getting right into it. He's rolling around on the ground trying to dodge bullets, and him and Jason trying to outdo each other's high scores. It was really fun to watch. Simon was playing it. I played a bunch of different games on the PlayStation VR. Too many to really recount, but I know that there was one I played called Dino Frontier. A lot of fun. It's basically like almost like an Age of Empires or StarCraft. I would say, Warcraft, but that goes back so far that everyone would think World of Warcraft. But a little builder game, Age of Empires, maybe Command and Conquer. And you've got these little, but it's the virtual reality world right in your face. So you've got the map sitting right in front of you like you're hovering over a board, and there's little people walking around. You can zoom in. And you basically assign them, right, to forage food or chop wood, and you build buildings. But there's dinosaurs as well. So in time, this is just a demo that I played, but in time you can actually get different kinds of dinosaurs, and they do different things. So you can like build a ranch and have like a dino ranch, or use dinosaurs to pull wagons and things like that. So it's called Dino Frontier, and I think I might get it. It was a lot of fun. I spent the most time playing that. There's a cute little game called Moss, MOSS, where you're in a forest. The forest is very beautiful. Little mouse running around. you're controlling a little mouse just running through all these little obstacles and things like that. What else did I play that was fun? I had a great time playing, what was it called? I think Star Child was what it was called. And it was almost like a side scroller, like Limbo or Inside, or Little Nightmares. If anyone's familiar with that one, it's a little newer, but, it was really cool game, really cool, side scroller where you're solving puzzles and things like that, but you're looking at it in a VR, VR world. Super, super, super cool. I played Playroom VR, which is a free thing from PlayStation that you can get with cute little robots and all sorts of fun stuff like that. I played a lot of that over the course of the day, where they've got like a Ghostbusters type game or a Godzilla game. Kamara and I played that together a couple times. Just a lot of really cool. Hey, if you're around someone who has one, or if you're anywhere near me, let me know. I'd be more than happy to let you guys try this. But I got to tell you, very, 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 very cool experience. Mika, if you're listening, next time you're in the neighborhood on lunch, come by and fuck around with it. Jimmy, same with you. I'll see you guys over the holidays. But anyways, and then I think in the afternoon yesterday, I transferred all of the social media stuff from Open Mic Mondays over to my friend Brenda McKeegan, who is now running that. So the last of I got one little bit of stuff left to do for Open Mic Mondays, and then it is completely off of my plate. But in terms of all of the booking and admin stuff, that's already gone. Now the social media stuff is gone to its new home as well, which is great. And yeah, I think I didn't really do a whole heck of a lot else last night. We sort of all capped the night off by playing video games as a bunch of roommates. That's there's videos on Instagram of that. In terms of my talking points this week, you guys, I wanted to say, I hope your holiday shopping is going great. I would love to know what you guys are doing for gifts. And at the same time, I like to fancy myself as someone who's got some pretty good ideas for gifts. So if any of you are struggling for some ideas for gifts, please, by all means, email contact@onemanpodcast.com. I'd love to know, sort of who you've got and what they're like, and I can make some recommendations on gifts. And you guys too. I'm having a hard time thinking of something to get Jason. Jason is the guy. He's kind of like me in the sense. This is what Crystal used to say of me, was that, she goes, every time I think to get a gift for you, like anything that you want, you just go out and buy. So Jason's kind of the same way. It's like, oh, he might want this. Oh, he just bought it for himself. So I kind of have to think of something that I think he might enjoy. But that he wouldn't already have. He buys himself a lot of watches. Again, like he saw the PlayStation VR guys and went out and bought the most expensive VR on the market. So that gives you an idea of, how easy it would be to buy Jason something during the holidays. So, I got some gifts for the kiddos. I've already got Simon and Kamar's gifts. There's really not a whole heck of a lot left that I have on my list. I got to get something for my mom and my dad, but they're tough to shop for. They don't really have any hobbies. My mom likes everything that my mom likes. I've tried in the past to buy her books, but then she just doesn't read them. So it's I'm going to try to find something that she'll like. In previous year, I got her an Apple TV, which she really likes. So that worked, but I was afraid it'd be something that she just wouldn't learn. So good for her. She's learned how to use her Apple TV. She's quite pleased with that. Hey, do you guys have any, like I said, do you guys have any suggestions for, maybe people that are hard to shop for? Any cool little gadgets that you've seen? Anything that would make a 65-year-old woman's life easier? My dad doesn't really do much. He just sort of stays at home, and then, he'll take the dogs for a walk, big long walk today. So in previous years, I know that he spotted a coyote at the experimental farm here in Ottawa. There are a couple coyotes that were there. And so I got him a pair of binoculars one year. I don't know if he still uses them, but I got him those one year. I got him some books because my dad is a reader. Don't know if he read them. I know my dad is a big fan of World War II, but I bought him some World War II memorabilia things before, and I don't know if he's actually read them. That's the thing too, when you get people like books on what they're interested in. Like I got tons of books here. I'm very interested in a lot of things, right? My partners at DK, I got a lot of their books. Portable press, Uncle John's bathroom readers. I got shitloads of those too, but do I ever just sit down and read them cover to cover? Not really, So I don't blame them, but maybe if you guys know any other ideas for how to get somebody something that they may, or, that they might be interested in, or maybe something they didn't know they wanted. I would love to hear your suggestions. And of course, like I said, if you guys know somebody, you got a couple, bit of info on them you'd like to give me, maybe give me a crack at it, see if I can come up with something interesting for them. I'm still enjoying wrapping the gifts. I did get some of the people gifts on my things. Another slight kick in the direction of actually putting the tree up is that I have gifts to put under it. So even though I might not have anyone to unwrap them with in the morning, I'm looking to do that. I know for me, I'm really interested in getting an Apple Watch this year. I do like techie and gadgety stuff, but one of the things I'm really interested in, especially after watching the Apple press conference, shut up, Red. I know you fucking hate Apple, so just skip past it if you want. But I'm interested in getting the Apple Watch because watching their press conference this year, just monitoring everything from, sleep patterns and heart rate and things like that. It will be a great tool for me to count steps and to give myself motivations to keep, active during the course of the day. That's really the main reason I'd like it. But there's a lot of extra details and things like that help with just a general health information overall. And so, that's kind of what I would like to get this year. I'd like to get an Apple Watch so I can keep better visuals on my health progress and my activity levels. So that's what I want Santa to bring me this year for Christmas. What do you guys want? What are you guys hoping to get this year? Right? I'm going to keep asking you. What is the thing you guys want? I'm really interested. We got some nice holiday traditions and stuff like that. One of the things I'm really looking forward to this year, and I'm hoping. It sucks, but I'm hoping that it doesn't turn into a big conversation because it's just going to suck. You know what I mean? It's just going to suck to have to bring it up. Is every year, one of my holiday traditions, has been for a few years now, probably at least 4 or 5 years, is my close circle of friends, Mika, Jimmy, Johnny, Ryan, his wife, myself, and all of our significant others get together and we do like a Christmas dinner potluck gift exchange. So it's nice. Everybody, we collaborate and find a night that works. We've actually started doing these things like, finding out in like October because we're all so busy with so many families. It's hard to pick a night that works for everybody. So we started booking in advance just to make sure that it can happen every year. And this year, I'm looking forward to it. After seeing Crystal on Sunday, I spoke to her and she said, I told her like, hey, look, I'd still love for you to come to this. But she was saying she's just worried about it being uncomfortable and she's not quite comfortable. She says it's a big couples thing. She's still kind of, to quote her, and I'm sorry to bring, she listens to the podcast too, but not to bring something she said personally, but she's just saying she's just, I don't think I can exactly, I don't want to quote her because I was told in confidence. I wasn't really told, but the idea is that neither one of us is in a position right now where we'd feel like we could be together and just kind of it be friendly. I think it goes without saying that we both have feelings for each other and whatever path and goals she has right now. I don't think that us being together in a holiday cheery, clearly we were the old couple sort of situation to be good. So I'm doing that. That's going to be just Josh. I'm going to be the ninth wheel that night. I will be by myself. And I'm just going to be trying not to, I just don't want to talk about it on that. I got to say that the one thing I'm not looking forward to that is just if everyone wants to ask, I don't want to talk about it. If you guys are listening and hear it now, let's just try not to talk about it. Yeah. Yay. Cheery good times. But it is a great tradition and I love it. And I am looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, we do potluck. We all bring an element of a nice holiday meal. We do the Chinese Christmas, it's called. And I don't know what it is, but every time I call it Chinese Christmas, I feel like I'm being racist. I know it's not, but just something about it being a Chinese thing where you can steal gifts from other people. It just feels like there's a negative connotation on it. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So I've already even purchased the gift this year that I think would be an outstanding, contribution to that game. I will tell you guys what it is once that event happens. A lot of you will be none too surprised too, because we've already talked about it on the podcast. Ooh, a hint. Yeah. So like I said, right now I'm still having fun. Like I'm trying to get into the holiday spirit. I'm shopping, but that's kind of an addiction thing. So I'm doing that as a bit of a distraction. But I'm shopping. I'm getting some stuff. I got the kiddos some gifts. do you guys have any holiday traditions? Again, I sort of throw it back to you only because I'm interested in knowing what's going on with you guys too. Like I talk too much about myself, but it's kind of the only person I know enough to talk about right now. So tell me, do you guys have any fun holiday traditions that you do? I think I've got a couple of emails this week where you guys, sort of mentioned a few things that you're doing. Getting back to the fattest thing I did all week, I did want to take a moment and just wrap up that little segment. It started and then it went away very quickly. I just did that because I was trying to shame myself into losing weight. And then the very next episode, I had the diagnosis of diabetes. So it's like, oh, well, now that's going to change quick. I was kind of hoping for at least a little bit of a history on that. Every time I try a new segment, it ends up short-lived. The Wednesday, I think Wednesday night or Thursday night, Kamar had ordered Chinese food. And I was eating all my rabbit food and all that stuff. And Kamar had ordered Chinese food and was kind enough to get me an egg roll. So talking with him, I think I said that, hey man, the fattest thing I've done all week so far is eat this egg roll, which so far, not too bad, right? If the fattest thing you did was eat an egg roll, oh my God, not too shabby at all. The second thing that I did all week that was, that would have qualified for the fattest thing I did was one of the days at lunch when Josh, my colleague at work, was hounding me about, not doing a crash diet. He goes, you should do 3 days on this MyFitnessPal and just eat whatever you want and track everything you eat. And so I went to lunch at Farm Boy, just a local place, very much like Whole Foods. They have a hot bar or whatever. And I got some stuff for lunch. Didn't overdo it or whatever, but I probably got like 7 or 8 different items in a container, just small little tasting amounts. And then it was such a giant pain in the ass to have to search out each one. And by eyeballing it, like how much they weigh, I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people who can look at something and go, oh, it looks like it's about 100 grams. Oh yeah, it's probably like 3 ounces there. And I don't know. So I was surprised that this MyFitnessPal app was able to find Farm Boy hot, honey ham, and that it was able to find the different things in the menu. That was impressive. But then eyeballing it and trying to do it, and I go, if I have to do this every meal, I go, the amount of stuff that's just out of a bag in my fridge that I make and mix by hand, like cooking my eggs or whatever, I'm like, and I use egg whites, so I'm pouring it in. So do I know how many ounces I poured in? Not really. So I'm like, well, fuck this. So I ate that food. That would have probably been the new fattest thing I did, because there was cream on the curry tofu, right? And I think that beats out an egg roll. But after doing that for one meal, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to eat the lettuce diet, because this is way too much fucking work. Having to, write a fucking thesis and do, calculus, trigonometry on every single fucking meal that I eat. Fuck that. Not doing it. So I went back to the lettuce diet, but that would have been the fattest thing. And then, of course, Saturday night I had the, the Farm Boy meal was pretty decent. Like I didn't really get any gross shit. You know what I mean? Like really fatty, piggish sort of things. It was a lot of like, roasted vegetables and stuff like that. But there was some cream sauce on the tofu, so that would have been fatter than the egg roll. Then Saturday I had that, turkey roast beef meal. That one probably less healthy. So that would have been the fattest thing I did. And then today, just before I got home, I was at Costco and I had what do you call it? Chicken fingers and fries with gravy, which I gave half to Dave of. So I think that because the chicken fingers were fried, the fries were fried, I think that was the fattest thing I did all week. But considering I ate 3 reasonable human meals aside from just lettuce and vegetables and these bland bean wraps, I think that having 3 human meals over the course of the week and that being the fattest thing I did all week is pretty goddamn good. So I wanted to share with you guys that what I'm working on the most right now is just trying to eat better and whatnot. I weighed in last week at 115, I think 0.9 pounds. And I'm not super proud to say, though some people might be, but there's still a fucking long way to go. I weighed in at 305 this morning, post breakfast without a poop. Yep. So with all of the stuff inside my belly, I was in at 305, which means that I have lost in not even fully a week yet, 10 pounds. I am 10 pounds down, and I weighed myself a few times on that initial one, and I weighed myself a few times since. I actually noticed earlier this week I was down to like 307 and got back on the scale a couple times. I think it was like 306.9, like 7. And then I was like a couple more times, and I think once I got to like 307, I was like, all right, I'm going to take the high number. And same thing, 305 today, taking the high number. So I had 304.6 and stuff like that again today. So taking the high number, 305, down 15 pounds. I'm not applauding, nor should you. That's still a lot more than a 34-year-old 5'9" guy should weigh. But that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing, and getting some results so far. So as much as my food has no taste, and I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I think part of this depression stuff is that it really makes it easy to not get cravings and not be hungry. So even when I haven't eaten, like wake up and I haven't eaten, I think I didn't eat till the day the PlayStation and stuff came. I don't think I ate till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And all I had was like lettuce and stuff, but I wasn't hungry. I was distracted. I was pleasantly distracted. But like I said, the depression is a good appetite suppressant. A lot of people eat when they're upset, and I've definitely felt the need to just consume something. In fact, today, like I said, I gave half my fries to Dave, and I gave 2 of my 3 chicken fingers, or no, I said 2 of my 4 chicken fingers to Dave as well. So it's I actually consumed a couple samples in Costco. I think I had a piece of a pierogi, a piece of a beef cheddar wrap thing, and then there was this cookie that they gave us that was like fucking milk chocolate and pralines. Like it was insanity. But yeah, so I would say today's Costco adventure was the fattest thing I've done all week. But I had a cookie, part of a pierogi or whatever, and then I was fucking full. I had fries and chicken fingers, so I'm like, it's here, but not really feeling like eating much. Like I said, I'm looking at a lot of stuff and going, no, I'm not hungry. I think I'm just bored and deciding not to eat. So that's going well, getting results, yada, yada, yada. You guys have listened to enough. A little bit of spare time and prep and whatnot. I try to throw like my iPhone on with something to watch. So what I've been watching lately is I'm in the 2nd season of Stranger Things. Not as invested in it as I was the 1st season, but I'm going to keep watching it, see where it goes. I'm still trying to watch The Walking Dead. I'm probably 2 or 3 episodes behind, but I PVR it every single week. So yeah, I don't know. What are you guys watching, right? What happens? I tell you what I'm doing, then I ask you to tell me. Stranger Things season 2. Hey, even let me know without spoilers whether I should even get excited about watching the rest of it. And same thing with Walking Dead. Walking Dead is starting to lose me now. Like the Negan stuff really brought the series back to an excitement level, leading up to the Saviors, that first episode with the Saviors, getting to know the Saviors. But now it's kind of like, you're losing me. You're not really bringing anything new to the table. I'm not super excited. So, let me know if there's any shows. I still haven't watched This Is Us. Everyone has recommended This Is Us, but considering everyone's saying that it makes them bawl their eyes out, and that's the people who are in happy relationships, I don't think my heart could take it right now. So it's on there. It's on the list of things, but right now I just aren't strong enough for it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't sit here weather the storm of having me heart squeezed anymore. It's weakened. It needs strength. And Lord knows I'm not eating the protein necessary to strengthen any of my fucking muscles. So, lots of Christmas music playing, right, guys? I used to play it at home when I was at home doing paperwork, but the same thing too. Like, I guess I'm just not fully in the Christmas spirit just yet. So, and plus I'm in retail, right? So I hear it all day at work. So that's me. Now you're caught up. That was last week. All right. I dicked around with video games. I played with my roommates. I secretly, I can't. I don't want to keep bumming everybody out. Look, it's going to get better. And like I said, I got nothing to complain about. I cannot feel sorry for myself. I have too many good people in my life who want me to be happy and want me to succeed. I love you all very, very much. Thank you so much. Sounds like I'm signing off the podcast. Just trying to wrap up the feelings for the week. I'm having a tough go. I miss my lady. She's not mine anymore, but I miss her. And I'm trying my best to put my head down and just focus on me. But like I say, it's hard not having my cheerleader there. All right. Let's get on to the fucking sponsors. Right? Every week, what do? I talk about my partners at portablepress.com. Uncle John's Bathroom Reader, guys. Great partners. And they are, like I said, they're out there, guys. They've got great books. Their 30th anniversary edition just came out. If you are looking for something that you can give to somebody, it's great trivia. It's great fun. A cool little read. And it's available at Costco for half of the price. Pick that up there. But this week I am reading from the Uncle John's Bathroom Reader, Attack of the Factoids. And since I have given up coffee recently, or at least the versions of coffee that I enjoy with milk and sugar or some sort of sweetener, I'm taking a bit of a coffee break, right, to try to get rid of those toxins out of my system and lose the weight. And that is the name of the article I picked. It is called Coffee Break. So in Coffee Break, it says a single coffee tree yields only about 2 to 4 pounds of roasted coffee annually. It takes 18 coffee trees to feed the habit of a 2-cup-a-day coffee drinker for 1 year. Only about a penny of that latte you buy for $4 goes back to the farmer who grew the coffee. The coffee bean is not really a bean. It's the pit of the coffee cherry, which is really a berry. Drying the discarded fruit makes a pleasant, fruity, and very caffeinated tea. Math students remember this request. May I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. If you count the letters of each word, you'll get pi to 10 digits, 3.141592653. So what that is, I actually had to read that one a second time, and I haven't gone any further in that, so everything else I'll be reading will be fresh for me. But so you take that sentence, may I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. That is pi. So may is 3 letters, I is 1, have is 4, A is 4, large is 5, and so on and so forth. So may I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. That will give you pi if you need to remember that for any reason. So 3.141592653. Americans consume coffee at the rate of 4,848 cups a second. Yeah, that actually sounds low. A second, actually. That's a second. That's a lot of coffee. Rhode Island's official state drink is coffee milk, a delicacy that's 1 part coffee to 1 part milk, and heavy on the sugar. That sounds like the 4 and 4s Jimmy used to drink. Way back in the day, Jim used to get 4 and 4s at Tim Hortons. Double is like 600-700 calories if you get a large, and you would get like a large 4 and 4. So give you an idea, drink 2 of those a day, and you don't need food. Hawaii is the only state that grows coffee. Fascinating. The caffeine that's removed from decaf coffee is mostly used in soft drinks, aspirin, and over-the-counter stimulants. So that's where they get it. They take it out of the coffee and they give it somewhere else. It's like essence removal. And finally, 10 grams of caffeine can kill the average person. That's the equivalent of about 100 cups of coffee drunk in 4 hours. Yeah, I can't drink that much. That is a lot of coffee. And that's it, guys. That's just that simple. This week, after all my yammering, nice, quick, short read from my partners at portablepress.com. It's a 1-pager. Just that simple, but coffee break. And look, now we're all smarter for just that little bit of information that we had, right? It is outstanding. And as always, guys, I have partners with Absolute Comedy. I'm very, this week, if you're in the Ottawa area, this week, there's an outstanding show the entire week. Kate Davis and Joey Elias are there, both outstanding headliners. And I'm hoping, haven't really reached out to them yet, but if I'm lucky, I think Kate and Joey may have time this Saturday to sit down with me separately, of course, to record bonus episodes of the One Man Podcast. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. And I will reach out to you guys. You'll find out. If next week there's bonus episodes, then you'll fucking know. So I hope that happens, because both of them are great comics and great great people, and their stories are very, very fascinating. And I'd love for everyone to hear them. So without further ado, here's the ad for Absolute Comedy. Absolute Comedy is the best live stand-up comedy from across North America, with locations in Kingston, Toronto, and Ottawa, Ontario. These comedians have been featured on Just for Laughs, Netflix, Comedy Central, CBC's The Debaters, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Conan, The Comedy Network, and much, much more. Go to absolutecomedy.ca to see this week's lineup. Planning a night out is easy with dinner and show packages available at all locations. Live comedy is a great choice if you're organizing a celebration, fundraiser, company outing, or corporate event. Want the show brought to you? They'll send comedians to your venue with performances tailored to your event, creating a night of laughs your guests will love and won't soon forget. So for showtimes, ticket prices, gift certificates, special shows, and more, head to absolutecomedy.ca. Again, that's absolutecomedy.ca for the best live stand-up comedy from across North America. My other partners, of course, at Summersby, as much as I love them with the recent diagnosis, I'm being careful not to. I'm not saying I'm outright avoiding drinking Summersby, but it's not their fault, guys. And if you're a regular human being who's shown control and restraint over the years, and you're trim and you're looking for something sweet to drink this holiday season, Summersby is a great option. And of course, they've still got their mixer packs available. So if you're if you guys are having like a get together, not unlike the one that I'm having, or of course, Christmas Eve or Christmas dinner, all that fun stuff. Why not bring one of Summersby's mixer packs there? Let everyone try it, different samples and stuff like that. Bring a few of them, right? Get everybody happy. Just a little bit of a different kind of taste from beer. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't want something bitter. Something that pairs nicely with the eggnog. Little sweet. Anyways, guys, I I love my partners at Summersby. I'm just trying to get you guys to drink since I can't.
The sun gives life to the orchard. The orchard gives life to the apple. The apple gives life to Summersby. Summersby is a delicious sweet taste of sunshine, imported across the ocean all the way from Denmark. The people in Denmark are smarter, and so are you if you drink Summersby. With flavors like apple, blackberry, pear, elderflower lime, red rhubarb, and a taste as regal as this fake accent, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And now you can try them all in the Summersby Mixer Pack, available wherever fine beverages are sold. So go on and try for yourself the crisp, refreshing taste of Summersby. Your taste buds deserve it. Please drink resplendently.
And we're back. Just like that. And of course, guys, my last partners, I have not had an opportunity to read one of the other books that they've sent me yet, but I'm excited because I'm mildly underway. Is that even a thing? Mildly underway? I've started one of the books they have, and I will have a review for you guys next week. Something to put on your holiday shelves, but this is a large book, so I want to make sure that I give some proper time in order to take a peek at it, right? Get a little bit more information on it. But as always, guys, any book with the DK logo on the front or the spine, is going to be outstanding because, as I've said before, DK marries information with imagery. Some people have referred to it as photography because it is photos in a lot of them, but there's a lot of imagery in there. They've got amazing graphs and pictures, but it keeps you engaged, keeps you entertained. Or at least me. Maybe if you're just dumb like me and you don't read. But they're huge, and I love everything I have with them. And because, just like I said, it's the holiday season. If you guys are looking for something fun, there's great stuff out there by DK. Just about any subject or field that someone might be interested in, DK has very likely got a book out there that's vast and visually stunning and informative. So why not take a look at them? Like I said, I've got a series right now. That's called Big Ideas Simply Explained, and I've probably mentioned it before. I've put a picture of my shelf with these books on it on Instagram, but they've got a great book series called Big Ideas Simply Explained, and just about anything that, that's out there. It's, my mom, when I was buying them, referred to it. She's like, geez, if you read all of these, that'd be like the equivalent of a high school education or a university education, I believe is what she said. But yeah, these are great books. There's the astronomy book, the business book, the crime book, the economics book, the history book, literature book, philosophy book, politics book, psychology book, religions book, science book, and sociology book. And that's just the ones that I have. There's also like the art book, the movies book. There's one entirely devoted to Shakespeare, the Shakespeare book. They've got like the Star Trek book for people who are interested in that. Just tons of great stuff. I'd like to get the art book. That's one I don't have. Movies might be nice as well. I don't know if I need an entire book devoted to Shakespeare. I'm very familiar with his plays, but it's a great series to have, and I can't wait to really dive into them and get underway. I'll give you guys a better review once I've started reading the series. Been collecting them for a while, but me and reading's hard, right? It's hard to take a book and open it up. I wish you could just take a book, put it on the shelf, and just get the knowledge. I wish that simple act was what put the knowledge in your brain. Right. I got several shelves full of books that I intend to read, and my intentions, they are the best of intentions. We just got to get there. Got to get that time, right? Get this weight off, maybe find a way to start, standing on a treadmill. That's what they need. They need a book holder on a treadmill. They can make tablet stands that flip, screw onto the side of a desk, and then they can spin the tablet all sorts of different ways. I need that for bed. Just put a book in that, hold it over my face so I can read it while I'm in bed. Oh, speaking of bed, fuck, am I tired. But anyways, wow, that's real nice. We're in the middle of a plug for my sponsors at DK. Guys, DK Books. Go on the Instagram. Take a peek at this beautiful collection of books. I know that at least 3 of the editions are available at Costco right now, or at least the Costco near my place, which usually means they're available, in a vaster area. The astronomy book, the politics book, and the psychology book are all available at Costco right now. They've also got a ton of other ones. But if you're looking for a really nice book idea, DK Books are great. Just take a peek at them. Google DK Books. You will find a lot of stuff. They're available at Chapters, Indigo, Costco, available online at Amazon. So have a peek at that. That is a gift idea that I can give you guys right now for free. I really can't stand behind the product enough. That's why I reached out to them. It's something that I like, and you will like too. Yay! And that's the sponsor just covered, guys. So coming up this week, as I mentioned, right after this podcast, I may or may not spend the evening with my mom decorating the Christmas tree. Depends on whether or not she's available. And depends on whether or not we have enough time by the time I'm done fucking around getting this thing ready. So I'm looking forward to that. You guys will find out next week whether or not there is a Christmas tree in this house. Or maybe if you, follow or like the Facebook or Instagram pages, maybe there will be a post up this week sometime with a Christmas tree in it, which would be a definitive, yes, it got up. Right? Wednesday I'm back at the source. That's tomorrow, the day, or you guys are listening to this. So, when you're listening to this, I too am making the commute into a job that I love, right? It's a good distraction, so I'll take it. I think that's one of the main reasons I haven't left the source yet too, is I think that just 2 days in a row off has been agony. So, the distraction is nice right now, and it's, it's a little bit busier because of the holidays, so I'm actually able to make a little bit of money. I am doing a spot at Absolute Comedy tomorrow evening, which is Wednesday, so the night you guys are seeing, for the Sex with Sue show. The woman who is the host of the Sex with Sue show is Sex with Sue show. Is holding an event. She holds one annually at Absolute Comedy, and I'm going to be doing a spot on that show. So I'm looking forward to that. Thursday, just a regular work day at the source. Then who knows what I'm going to do with myself in the evening. Friday, back at the source. Yeah, that's what I do, guys. I spend the day in an ill-fitting red shirt and try to convince people to buy cell phones and internet, along with old cordless phones and remote control cars. I am the oldest person that works in that store. Don't think that doesn't stab at me every day. On Friday night, I will be back at the Velvet Room in Canada, the Absolute Comedy Show at the Velvet Room in Canada. Looking forward to just doing some stand-up comedy there and seeing the comics who are coming out. I think that I actually, being there on Friday, I get to see Kate and or Joey. So I'm really looking forward to that. And maybe there's a chance, like I said, on Saturday, on Saturday, I might get to podcast with them, but I'm definitely, Joey Lass is a great friend of mine. One of the guys who's a monster comedian, and very early into my stand-up career sort of took me under his wing and was a great friend. So Joey and I are going for brunch on Saturday, and I'll see if I can talk him into doing a podcast in the afternoon with me. And yeah, Sunday back to the source. That's what I do, day in and day out at that place. And I think the only thing I have coming up early next week that's even worth sharing is that on Tuesday morning, right? So before I record next week's podcast, I'm going for my ultrasound on my side. So to have a peek at my my tear or lymphoma or whatever the fuck is wrong with my side. And apparently I have a fatty liver. Great. It'll go perfectly with my fatty everything else. And yeah, I'll tell you guys how that goes. I mean, I won't really know any results, right? So it's just gonna be me sitting there terrified in a chair that someone was gonna find a lump. That's the part that scares the shit out of me. That was one of the reasons that kept me from going to get stuff looked at, right? It's just getting that bad news. And of course I'll be by myself. Crystal used to come with me to stuff like that because I'm a bit of a pussy, right? I don't like get bad news. What I used to do is just say, like, just tell her whatever there is to tell. Don't tell me, just tell her. But I don't know about you guys, if you guys get uncomfortable when they're fucking checking you out, right? But the fucking nurses or whatever they're called, the techs, when they're like looking over you, they do stuff like where they go, or like, and I'm like, I just don't make any fucking sounds. Just look. If you see something you don't like, go over it a couple times. Don't fucking say anything to me. Let my doctor tell me I'm going to die. Or just let him tell. I want to tell my doctor, be like, just tell me what to do next. If I have bad news, just be like, I need you to get this prescription filled, and I need you to take these pills 3 times a day. Perfect. Great. All right, you do that, and that's going to be, I go, Doc, why are these prescription pills only for 4 months? Is that how long I have? I would just fucking do the same thing. God damn it. So anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be by myself, and I hope none of these fucking tech people are like, oh, that's not good. What? Don't. Anyways, that's what I have to look forward to. All right, your emails. Yay. Moving on to hopefully what you guys want to hear me talk about time. First email, and as I mentioned, as always, right? How many times an episode? Guys, email me, contact@onemanpodcast.com. I will read your emails. I don't care what they're about. I love hearing from you. First email this week comes from Chris. Chris says, hey, Josh, last week at work, I was working in a basement, which was a radio LTE dead zone. So we had to play music off of our phone's playlists. Since all my music is stuck up in the cloud, my boss hooked his phone up. On it, he had a total of 8 songs, 3 Christmas songs, an Adele, a Pink, and 3 Grace Vanderwall. Don't know who that is. After our third time through this extensive playlist, he asked me if my kids listened to Grace Vanderwall. I hope I'm saying that right, too. He then began to tell me that she was the recent winner of America's Got Talent and is only 12 years old, which, if you've ever heard her without knowing anything about her, is hard to believe. So the next morning, I looked her up on YouTube to show my kids. My son couldn't give 2 shits, but my daughter was mesmerized, and rightfully so, because this little girl not only sings like a 30-year-old whose voice has been shaped for the better by a couple decades of smoking, but she also wrote all the lyrics and music, which she performs on ukulele herself. Okay. That long-winded intro aside, I'll tell you the real reason for writing in. After seeing how enamored my daughter was with Grace Vanderwall, I decided it was time to get her a ukulele. So I found a music store online that was having a Black Friday sale. I ended up buying 2 beginner ukuleles for my kids, and then said what the hell and bought myself a second ukulele. I already own one, and one for Rebecca. For those interested, I bought 4 soprano-sized ukes, he calls them. Is that a short form ukulele, or is that a type of ukulele? A ukulele. Which is the smallest yet more traditional of the 4 ukulele sizes. 2 mahalos for my kids, which I've heard can be hit or miss when it comes to quality, but weren't too expensive. And 2 kalas for my wife and I. That's how I spent Black Friday. I agree with your brother. Exploding Kittens is garbage. It is very cheap and short-lived laugh. If you're really that interested, go to The Loft, which is a board game cafe near Rito Center. I'm sure they have a dozen copies to try. And finally, about the whole millennial Gen X stuff. If you feel that you really need a label, then I'll throw in my 2 cents. Gen Xers are the offspring of baby boomers. Millennials are the offspring of Gen Xers. And we, those born in the late 70s to early 80s, who are also the spawn of baby boomers, are classified as Zennials. A cheap description is someone who at an early age may have still had a rotary phone and turn-dial TV, but was also still a kid during the digital age. I like this classification because I definitely don't identify with the description of millennials or Gen Xers. Zennials for life. Thanks, Chris, for your email, and that will probably piss off Red, who was the one who sent in the thing about being millennials. And speaking of which, Vanessa, a.k.a. Red, is the next one to write in. Red writes in, hey, Josh, glad to hear you got some progress with your health situation. Now you need to get serious about the weight loss, which I clearly have. Well, 1 week does not serious make, but you know, at least I'm a weekend. I got that behind me. About this weight loss, because if you die, there will be no podcast, and who am I going to count on for complaining about their life to me every week? Wink, wink. Yeah, that's what I do best, guys. I live a life and then I bitch about it. To anyone who'll listen. From listening to you for a while now, there is a pro tip on how to cut calories. Stop drinking your calories. Yeah, you're one of those people. It's okay. And I appreciate the advice. It's one of those things where people, I get it. I know there's a lot of people, I see a lot of fat people just carrying bags full of 2-liter pops and juices and shit like that. So I get it. But I mean, I've always known there's a lot of calories in that stuff. Anyways, it is shocking how people kill their diets just from drinking juice, pops, lattes, smoothies, alcohol, etc. From now on, you are restricted to black coffee or water. Well, that's what I've been drinking. I'm actually drinking black tea, and not black, like as in the type of tea, black tea, but black as in there's nothing in it. So I'm drinking herbal teas, rooibos, a lot of stuff that doesn't even have caffeine, because I'm trying to keep that toxin out as well. So not only eat better and have low calories, but keep the toxins, like too much sodium, shit like that. Wet the whistle. Yeah, black coffee or water, or at least try it for 30 days and see how it moves the scale for you. You might be surprised. And no, you can't add those drink flavor things to your water, real lemon, lime only. I know what you're talking about, the fucking like Crystal Light kind of shit, or the spray bottles that flavor your water. I have no issue drinking water. I think the only reason that I haven't gotten a diabetes diagnosis or high cholesterol, which I'm still no high cholesterol, but I think the only reason I haven't had like worse diagnosis along the lines is because I actually drink a fuckload of water every day. When I need my thirst quenched, water is kind of my go-to. It should be everyone's, but some people slam a Coke or drink a big glass of juice. I drink water. I like water, so I'm lucky in that regard. And I'm really against chemicals. Like some people are trying to convince me of Splenda. Like I see, my friend Dave, here's a perfect example. Dave bought himself a giant case of Diet Pepsi today, which we all know has like no fucking calories, but it's got shitloads of chemicals instead. And, for years, I've been kind of like, you know what? If I'm going to put something in my body, I would rather real calories. And, that's not good for me, but at least it's real. I would rather real calories than fucking synthetic chemical offshoots, because it's still bad for you, in terms of like, it's not really anything special, but now you're just dousing your body in chemicals. So let's put a nice fucking wax or chemical laminate over my organs. Like I'm really not for that. So, those spray sucralose, sucralose or aspartame fucking sprays. No, not for me. I don't even chew gum anymore because they're mostly all just aspartame. Everything's sugar free. Yeah, that's great. It's fucking loaded with chemicals that we don't know enough about. So, I don't eat that shit. So don't worry about me, Red. All I'm saying is, I drink water and I'm drinking, black, whatever it is. I did have, I think, a cup of black coffee that night. I had the meal too, at the show. So, I didn't even say much about that show, did I? I was just like, I did a show for Gilchrist Homes. They were a great crowd. There was one woman there, one young woman, I should say. There was 3 older women, but one young woman there, way too much to drink, way too chatty. But the people who were there were very, very kind. And they were great. They were having a great time laughing. Jim McNally, another comic who I work with many times. You guys have heard his name before. Jim was outstanding. He headlined the show, went after me, did a great job. And I should actually have Jim on to do an interview, just do an interview with Jim McNally. He's a great guy, great comic. I love working with that guy. So just something that popped into my head in the moment. Right in the middle of your email going back. I just didn't want them to feel like, not that any of them listen, but just wanted to make sure I was paying dues to a good show. It was a good show. I think I was focused more on the fact that I had that fucking meal, obviously with my goals where they are right now. It's easy to understand. Anyways, on a lighter note, I got some cool things from Black Friday. I got myself a Blue Yeti microphone to start my new streaming career, which came with Assassin's Creed Origins, which is cool. So you played Assassin's Creed Origins, or it's cool that you got it with your Blue Yeti. We sell Blue Yetis at the source, and they are a very highly recommended microphone if you're going to do streaming. In fact, I'm going to mention right now, it is probably after 8 o'clock. I'm going to look at my clock here. It is 8:35, which means you right now, madam, are streaming your inaugural thing, unless something horrible happened and you couldn't get it working. But if all is going according to plan, you are playing your inaugural Twitch thing right now, because we spoke earlier today. But anyways, yeah, so I'll get to more of that because that's in your email too. Sorry. I'm all over the map. I also bought Ronan a new stroller, which I'm sure you don't care about, but we needed a lighter one for the future and for when we travel and stuff. So I'm pumped about a deal I got. Well, feel free to tell me more about that deal. I'm not going to pretend like I'm fucking, oh, really? Tell me about the stroller. But I know that that's fucking super expensive cost and weight and all sorts of shit like that goes into them. So if you got yourself a goddamn PS4 Pro version of a stroller and you got a good deal on it, then I am stoked for you, man. Saving money is super cool. I also got a Google Home Mini for free because I had to pre-order my Pixel 2. I had been waiting on my offer code and finally got it. So pumped. I also made my parents buy me a new set of headphones for Christmas because they were on sale. Yeah, good. That's awesome. The Google Home Minis have been super popular. That's like this year's, or sorry, not the Mini, I should say. The Google Homes have been like this year's Tickle Me Elmo for tech. And the Mini is the poor person's version. So congratulations that you got it for free. I'm just fucking with you. No, that's awesome. Dave too has a Google Home Mini, and he says that it's great. You can do a lot of cool shit with it. So, if you have time at some point, I don't want to keep bothering you for emails. You're doing a great job of contributing. But if at some point you would love to tell us what a Google Home Mini does, a lot of people have been asking, and I've been trying to do it based on what the reviews say. But maybe someone who's actually using one can enlighten us. And then people who are like, oh, what should I get somebody? They hear about the Google Home Mini and know why it's the popular Christmas item. But Josh, don't you sell them? Yeah, I do. And I don't know that much about them because I keep asking people and I can't get a straight answer. So, what else do we have here? A great site for comparing if something is actually a good price is camelcamel.com. It mostly shows you Amazon prices and how they fluctuate for a product to make sure you are actually getting a good deal. Cool. So there you go. Anyone who buys online, check that out. Camelcamel.com. Stupid name. Why would you ever think that? But I guess it's a good site. I'm jealous about your PSVR. You should be. It's outstanding. I'll have to come to Ottawa now and try it. And you know you're always welcome to. We've got a couch that pulls out. So feel free to bring the whole family except the baby and come stay at our place. I'm joking. What do we got? Here's some info on my stream. Yes. So like I said, you're streaming right now. Here's some info on my stream. I've also attached a logo you can post on Instagram. Done and done. It is already there, guys. Check out Red's logo and all the details that I put down on Instagram. But here's some more details. Twitch stream Tuesday and Thursday between 8 and 10 p.m. So that's when Red will be twitching. And what that is, for anyone who doesn't know, Twitch is like it's like a YouTube of video games. So you actually get to tune into people who are playing video games and you can chat with them. There's like a chat bar on the side. You can interact with them while they're playing the game. So you can watch a game being played. So for example, if you're fascinated about a game and you go, oh, I don't know if I want to buy that or not, you can always go to Twitch and actually watch someone playing it, and ask them questions and comment, and they interact with you. It's a very cool platform. I have Twitched on occasion, but I don't have enough stable time to do it. The most stable thing I do in my life is this podcast, but it's definitely out there. It's a very cool service, and people have different channels, and sort of you can go to them and see what kind of games they play. But anyways, yeah, Twitch is a very, very cool service. No goofy spelling, just TWITCH. Yeah, I can spell. I think it's twitch.tv, if I'm not mistaken, is their website. But anyways, Red has a channel, Twitch stream Tuesdays and Thursdays between 8 and 10 p.m. I will be playing a variety of games, mostly adventure, strategy, simulation, and survival games. Tuesday, I will be streaming Clay's Oxygen Not Included, a space colony simulation game with a lot of quirk. Much drama guaranteed. Maybe I'll even name a character after Josh. That's me. Thursdays, I will be streaming the story-driven adventure game The Book of Unwritten Tales. If you miss a stream, you can catch the archive on YouTube. There you go. So you'll have to give me your YouTube information. If you follow my channel before January 1st, you will be entered to win a prize. To be determined on what? Probably a game. And the website is twitch.tv/A Geek in Real Life is the name. A Geek in Real Life, guys. So feel free to go on Twitter and Instagram. Red has a profile on both of those. I found them earlier today. And give her a follow, and then definitely check her out on Twitch. So obviously this will come out. You guys will have missed last night's, but you'll be able to check it out on YouTube. I'm hoping to be able to have this done and pop in very briefly to say hello and wish her all the best, and just run my fucking mouth for a couple minutes while she's doing her thing. You just finished with the enjoy, buddy, and stay healthy. Thank you so much, Red, for your email. I hope you have fun on Twitch. I hope you're killing it right now, having a great time with a big group of people who are having fun with you. Finally, last email of the week, guys, comes from my friend Tiffany. Tiffany says, what a great podcast, number 29. God, I laughed. Hope you're ready for an all-over response. So here you go. Your misery makes my day. I literally sit and make notes on what to talk to you about. Baby moms having babies, don't get me started. I swear they do it for the bonus check. No regard for the little being they are raising. Yes, it's not everyone, but focus on raising well-rounded, decent humans. I'm not a drill sergeant mom, but Ava is 6, pleasant, kind, and respectful. So many moms just let their kids be little shits because of the terrible twos, but there is no such thing. Nip that shit in the butt. Anyways, you were saying enough people on the planet, which made me howl. Bill Burr did a comedy piece on the exact same thing. Yeah, he does one on all of his specials. Him, Doug Stanhope, lots of people are like, all right, enough population. I'm kind of in the same thing too. Like, I mean, you've heard me. Those are my opinions. They're certainly not pulled from anywhere. But it's just, yeah, I think, I'm not saying don't have kids. I'm just like, can we just, conserve a little bit? I'm not conservative, but Jesus. I think when you're 16 and you got like 5 of them, that's crazy. What did you say? You should check it out. Yes, definitely. That poor kid at your store, I would have torn a layer off that mom. Yeah, I would have too, had I been there. So like he was still there very late. We went to get the gear to bring the stuff away. And when I came back, he was gone, and probably lucky for her because, I try to not just, yell at people. I don't want to be an asshole, but at the same time, like I felt really fucking bad for that kid. Like, is he going to get left somewhere someday and stolen or robbed or whatever? Can't fix the fucking world, Josh. It's not even like I'm trying that hard to. That woman and the kitten and that mom with the dog. Impulse love buying drives me nuts. Well, it drives me crazy too. Yeah, some of the stuff guys is referencing last episode. Obviously, she said number 29 right off the get-go. But yeah, people were going into a pet store and just like, oh, you want that dog? Okay, let's get it. If you get this dog, that's your Christmas present, though. Like I said, no, like, hey, you got to make sure you walk it or anything like that. Like the responsibility part was like the last thing. Same thing. The fucking trophy wife with the fake tits. Like, oh my god, that cat, can I have it? Whatever you want, baby. From the little midget dude who was with her, or the sort of little person that was with him. And it wasn't even a little person. I think that's rude to little people. That's why I'm calling him a midget. I'm using a derogatory term. We're not supposed to use it for anybody. I'm using it for that fucker. Anyways. God, the anger boils up in me. But it's because somebody's got to be angry on behalf of the animals. The animals can't be like, are you serious? I can just see the cat in the arms of the person at the pet store, just looking at them going, like, are you really just going to stick me in a box and let me leave with these fucking people? Like, do they look like they can take care of themselves? You're going to let them take care of my life. You give a fuck about me that much. Oh, that price tag. I noticed the fucking negative amount next to it. Oh, I'm on sale this week. My life is worth less this week. Clearly, because you're selling me these fuckers. Anyways, it's like the parents who buy kids every brand name they want. I put a poll up on a mom group the other day and got like 30 responses all about fingerlings, Hatchimals, tablets, iPods, etc. I don't know what fingerlings or Hatchimals are. And I didn't research it, right? 'Cause you guys know me, I don't research. All this senseless crap. I asked Ava what she wanted. She wants pulleys and ropes because she loves to build, a diary with a lock and key, paper, something with glitter, and a plant. What happened to kids appreciating simple presents? Anyways, I'm sorry about the diabetes diagnosis, but you can do it, Josh. Love you, and do it for you. Thank you, Tiff. I appreciate that. Proud of you for taking your health into your own hands. Sounds like you have a great doctor. Kudos to you. It's nice to see a doctor with his head on straight. It's hard to come by. Yeah, it definitely has been. It's been a long time. What are you going to call yourself when you're not a fat fuck, as you say? I don't know. I will probably find the next most obvious flaw that I have and attack it first. That's a defense mechanism, in case all of you guys don't know. I mean, a lot of you do, but whenever someone harps on themselves for something, makes fun of themselves, it's usually just because it takes the power away from someone else doing it. So it's usually an indication that they're insecure about it. But yeah, you make the joke first and then they can't. And it makes, to some, it looks like you're a little confident and okay with it. And to others, they understand that's the defense mechanism it is. Mm-hmm. Water. I'm drinking water. Just water. So yeah, I don't know. I'll find the next thing that I'm insecure about and take the power away from everyone else and say it first. So let's find out what that is. I'll probably refer to having floppy skin or something like that. I got a big bags of fucking loose skin. Ugh. That's what I'm trying to make you guys puke. I hope you've already finished your breakfast by the time you get to this part. Yeah, what are you going to call yourself? Yeah, who knows? Fattest thing, you should make a chart and list them all. Well, I think I have. I haven't made a chart, but I've definitely listed them here. If anyone actually wants to know about them, you can fucking do the research yourself. What do? Work hard? I don't think so. That guy's band, Duvet, is so much better. I agree, right? Cover band called Duvet. Amazing. Don't you find that egg whites taste like snot? No, I don't. I cook them. I'm not drinking them raw like Rocky. I'm cooking them. This morning I took that bean stuff because I made a lot of it. I made a big pot, and now every meal is either a bag of lettuce or beans in a wrap with lettuce. So I this morning I tried to mix it up, and I put a couple spoonfuls of the beans and rice and everything like that, onions and corn, all that shit, in a frying pan, and I fried that up to make it warm, hot, and then I poured egg whites over top of that. So I had like this weird. It definitely wasn't an omelet. It was more like scrambled eggs. It was like a skillet. It was like egg whites cooked onto all of that. So it didn't taste like snot. Definitely did not. Excuse me. Oh, that's a rude. Is that the first time? I've probably burped in your guys' ear before. Sorry about that. Kiss it better. The fuck was that? Whatever you don't do. Whatever you do, don't do kale. It's so gross. Yeah, I won't. Kale is gross. I find it you have to chew it forever, and it tastes like caca. And you said, I've also heard that kale fucks with your thyroid. It makes your thyroid too fast. One person, I think the guy we stayed with at Halifax, was saying that kale has got like per gram or whatever, it's got the most protein out of anything. Fine, but it also fucks with your thyroid. So take that. And you said, but Costco has a sweet kale salad, tastes like coleslaw. It's amazing. I have had it before. It's okay. Again, I'm not a big salad guy. I am now, but I wasn't then. I thought it was okay. And then you wrote, way to go, Dave, for the nutrition plan. How can he stick to it? My Lord, the willpower amazes me. Dave is doing great. Dave and I have like a bit of a love-hate thing. Dave is a wonderful friend. Love that guy. I can't say enough good things about him. However, Dave loves to give himself credit for things he doesn't do it sometimes. And I know you're listening, buddy. I know you're listening. But Dave had a lot of willpower. He too, if I could just, again, it's not really my place to say, and I'm sure he'll let me know if I'm out of line saying this, but my friend Dave too is, he's got a little bit of a loneliness in his heart too. And, and sometimes when we're depressed or whatever, we eat the stuff that we're not supposed to eat. So Dave's pretty good about not doing it on his own. He definitely has a lot more willpower than most. I will say that for him. As much as he, falls off the wagon from time to time, and he's pretty hard on himself when he does, he still shows a lot more willpower than most, and he still is doing great with his weight loss. Still lost a ton of weight and doing great. But we were together today, and he was good about telling me every time I picked up something. He's like, "No, you can't have that. It's got this much sodium. You can't have that. It's got this." And then we went to Walmart and he grabbed guacamole and tortilla chips, which is still way healthier than other options, but not on the diet plan there, buddy. So anyways, no, he's great, and he's been very, very supportive. Like I said, I can't say enough good things for the support that I've got from my friend, and yeah, he's doing great, and forgive yourself, Dave. When you make a little mistake, just forgive yourself. You'll get back on the wagon. You said, love how your doc is like, yup, you have fatty diabetes. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know what to say. He's a doctor, and I like him because he kind of gives it to you straight. He's like, but he told me I had a fatty liver. And I don't know if he was like, yeah, you get the liver of a fucking fatty. No, he's like my liver has fat in it now. It's storing fat there. So my brother's actually got a real problem with it. So he's doing a lot to reverse his situation too. What are your Christmas plans? Well, I mentioned them before. I got that big meal with my friends, and then I think I'm going to sit around and cry. Christmas. I got a nice meal with my mom too coming up. She's hosting for everybody. She rented a hall and got about 20 dinners. From a restaurant, not a hall. I apologize, a restaurant. And so we're doing the family dinner with my mom, but we're doing it at a restaurant. We're very, very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. How do you find Black Friday versus Boxing Day sales? I think Black Friday has really made an influence. Black Friday is not in Canada what it is in the States. In the States, it's insane deals. Way more so than they are here in Canada. Boxing Day is got a lot of sales, but again, still Canada doesn't really do it the way the States does. There's not as much inventory left over that you need to just fucking clear, right? So I think they're both on par with each other right now, but I think Black Friday is kind of, it's the preemptive strike to Christmas where Boxing Day is like after Christmas. So I think a lot of companies have started to really put the sales into Black Friday and get that shit sold in advance, as opposed to having to sell on a Boxing Day strategically. Now, I don't know. It's not like I've sat down and they tell me this shit, but just looking at it from a strategy point, if you're going to sell shit, for nothing, why not sell it before and get those Q4 results up, right? Even though Boxing Day is technically in Q4, get those numbers up before Christmas, because people are more inclined to buy even more because they haven't really fulfilled that Christmas needs yet. Whereas Boxing Day, it's after the fact. So even though you can get some good deals, people are kind of buying for themselves. Black Friday, get people buying for themselves and others as well. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think I'm slowly starting to see Black Friday deals are getting better and better. More things on Black Friday, more places. They get the Cyber Monday bullshit where you just go online and buy it. What a stupid name for a fucking holiday. I don't know. I can't say. So far, I mean, maybe I'll tell you afterwards whether or not I think Boxing Day was just as good as Black Friday. You said I got Black Friday sale contacts at Clearly Contacts. I assume those are contact lenses. And you said Amazon baby stuff. I'm an Amazon junkie. I assume that's Amazon online. Pretty obvious to say. It's not like you're an Amazon like Wonder Woman, the junkie version, which would be, I think, a pretty fucking hysterical college humor clip, where you just see like the one junkie on the island with all the Amazons, the one that's addicted to fucking, be like an after school special. And you said, one more piss off. Santa is a bastard. They don't let you take pics with your phone. $30 for a 5x7 print or $40 for a digital email of the images. Don't get me started. Yeah, that whole shit's a racket. When I was at Bayshore doing that PSVR, I saw the big Santa setup, and I don't know if there's one at Place d'Orleans, but yeah, that shit's all a fucking racket. You know where you should go to get your Christmas pictures done? crystalclearshots.com. Send her a message. Anyways, yeah, Crystal's a great photographer. She's doing a lot of people's Christmas shots. She's got clients that come to her every year for Christmas pictures. She's great. I know you're in Peterborough or Lindsay, one of those areas, but it's worth the trip. What you save on mall Santa photos, you'll get back in gas. So give her a call. What is the funniest gift you bought or plan to buy? I bought Rich a Willy warmer. I died. I found it funny. You should DIY a Christmas sweater. So when you said Willy warmer, I saw that, and for some reason my brain thought like a Snuggie. Oh, it's like a Snuggie for guys. And so this I did research. Thank you very much, Mika. A Willy warmer is, and there's pictures of it on the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you guys are not following or liking Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, do it. One Man Podcast. You will see what a Willy warmer is. A Willy warmer looks like it is a sweater for your penis. And yeah, and I put some pictures on there. I think it's fucking hysterical. Mine would fill all my twigs and my bits and pieces would fit all into the fucking bag portion. But yeah, they look really, really funny. Like I said, I thought it was like a Snuggie for a guy, and I guess it kind of is. Yeah, that's very cool. I don't have any like funniest gift or plan to buy. I did, I can share is I haven't planned to get any funny ones this year, but Jason is a big fan of golf. Like he golfs all the time. Anyone who knows him knows he golfs like all the time. He golfs like 2-3 times a week during the summer. And last year I saw at Bed Bath & Beyond, they had something called potty putter. So it's like a mat you put around the toilet and it turns the whole all into a green area. And then you have like a little golf club, a little golf ball, and of course somewhere for you to putt the golf ball into while you're sitting on the fucking toilet. So I thought that was a funny gag gift for Jay. And usually Jason is a very good sport about stuff like that. He'll see something like that. He'll laugh. He'll set it up once, try it, and then never give it again. And that would have been worth the money. To try something once, it's hilarious. It's worth the money. He didn't even try it once. In fact, he stuck it in the cabinet in the kitchen for some reason, like putting the kitchen cabinets like on top of his canned foods. So anyways, that was the funniest thing I bought, as a gag gift recently. I don't really have any plans for a gag gift. A couple years ago for our friend potluck dinner, a gag gift about, I think we set a limit of like $40 on the gift, right? Because we do for like our little Secret Santa or what do you call it? Chinese Christmas. That's the name of it. We had that there. And I think I found a printer at Costco for like $39. And I was like, oh, how fun is this going to be? And I bought it as not funny, but I thought it would be fun because out of like, and $40, I'm like, I don't really know what you can get for $40 that everyone would want, but I'm like, a fucking printer is pretty cool. And I could see a lot of people fighting over this. So I bought that, wrapped it up, and that was my contribution. The only problem was I think the printer didn't get unwrapped until like the second last thing. And then I was like, and then even while we were playing, I'm like, you know what? Who doesn't have a printer right now? This one's a cool one, but anyways. So those are my idea of gag gifts and stuff like that. Like I don't, I guess I always just try to get people shit that they're going to like, I guess like it's funny and cute. Crystal and I sort of get each other cute little things, it keeps going back to her. But again, I apologize, guys. That was my life. My life is different now. A big part of my heart has been removed. She called me, her pet name for me was Monkey. And so I used to get her like little stuffed monkeys and stuff. There's also little stuffed toys you can find around the holidays. So, those were the funny, cute little gifts that I would get her, with stuff like that. Well, last line of your email is, anyways, it's such a long Bible email. I'm so sorry. Anyways, thanks for reading. Miss your face, XO. I miss you too, Tiff. It's always a pleasure getting your emails. Thank you so much for writing in. Thank you, Red Tiff, and Chris for your emails this week. I appreciate all of you guys writing in. Of course, if anyone wants to write in to the podcast, you can send your emails to contact@onemanpodcast.com. As always, guys, I would ask you to just like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Just there's extra content for you guys out there that way, and I get to know who's out there. We get to interact a little bit more over the course of the week when I post shit and whatnot. And, hey, if you have any friends out there that you're like, you know what, if you think your life's bad, check out the One Man Podcast, and just listen to other people struggling with their goals and stuff like that. I always appreciate when you guys recommend to your friends and whatnot. I'm still surprised when I meet, hang out with my friends who have their friends show up. They're like, yeah, I listen to your podcast. So I appreciate and love every one of you guys who are out there listening. So thank you so much once again for being a part of it. I'll help, things are going to get easier, guys. Things are going to get easier. I'll talk to you next week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to have some new interviews for you soon, too. Take care.